from your vantage point of brand finance, what are some outdated ideas and misconceptions that businesses might have about their own brand value that are hurting their bottom line?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is cost
Hmm.
versus the notion of it as an asset. People think brand just costs, 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 and that they don't understand that there's A, value in it, and that B, they can invest in it, and such that, again, one thing we're starting to talk about, well, not starting, but starting to hear more about, starting to get better receptivity to it or reception of it is brand ROI,
Mm, mm.
BROI, right? Like we've talked about marketing ROI, and we had this discussion um, uh, several times very recently, and it's becoming more of a thing. And I think that is the probably the biggest kind of outdated or idea or misconception that there is, right? We can show and we can prove out, and we've got the frameworks and the standardizations that we've discussed that there is value in brand, right? But now let's take that next step and prove out how it's tied to the business and how investing in brand actually makes a return, right? And so I think that's probably kind of point number one. And because of that, it's kind of back to a very simple expression that I've always loved using, which is you can measure it. And people are thinking like, how'd you come up with that? Several of the, let's say, larger firms out there that calculate brand value, we have different methodologies.
Hmm.
Fine, that's
Yeah.
okay. But ultimately, you can measure it. And so, if you can show your math, so to speak, and you can prove out what it is, I think that's you're well on your way to getting after that notion of brand ROI and proving out that it's an asset. And then maybe to go back to the kind of point that we've chatted about already, which is brand is the company is the brand, right?
Hmm.
Brand
Hmm.
is customers, brand is employees, brand are leaders, brand are other stakeholders and partners and analysts and things like that, right? And so it's infused everywhere you go, right? When you think about John Deere, right? It's about it's about perseverance, right? It's about resilience. It's about ingenuity, right? John Deere was the guy who developed the notion of the plow, right,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
the plow, and it is sold kind of on that quintessential. And this is from the article that it wrote, which is really about the dream of, hey, I'm helping to feed the nation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so when you think about it from that perspective, like it just runs deep and it's just core to the company. And so let's kind of understand, yes, there's a business side, but the business is it's all very highly integrated with one another. And so I think thinking about brands separately, it's not the way to truly understand what brand is and what it means to the firm and ultimately the overall performance.